UFC Qatar has wrapped up, and it absolutely delivered on the excitement. Fans got exactly what they hoped for. A thrilling battle between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker. And as expected, the MMA world had plenty to say about it. Here's how the pros reacted to this electrifying matchup.
Whoa. Come on, relax, boys. Relax. Dude, that's just childish. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Look at me. You're meant to be a champion in this sport. Your friend just won. Don't ruin this picture. Arman, congratulations. I went up to Tsarukyan. I congratulated him. I went up to Khamzat. I said, hey, champ, what's up? When are we going to see you back? He goes, I don't know, brother. Whenever. Smash. All right, cool. Sweet. Slaps me on the back. I'm like, all right, cool. Security guy gets in front of us. I'm like, we literally were just cool with each other. He's not going to fight me. And then that childish energy comes out. Yeah, f you, brother. F you. Boom. Tries to push me. I just turned around and went, you're meant to be a champion of this sport. You're a child. You're taking away from your friend's win over here. How about you calm down, slow down, and have a bit of respect for your friend over here rather than trying to steal the headlines. Do you want the honest truth? It's little dick energy. I need to show the world I'm tough. I need to show you're the champion of the world. No one needs to see you be tough. You don't need to have these anger management issues. Just be a man. Sorry. I'll get him one day. We're all going to try grab a hold of my legs. Born little. I'm not going to get it. Don't get me started. That's it.
Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. That was a great performance.
Wow, great fight by Arman Tsarukyan.
He's going head and arm. One of his best moves, head and arm choke. And it's deep. God, that's GG's. That is GG's, I think. Oh, God, look at his head. Not good. Not good. Tsarukyan's a fucking beast. Wow.
Performance was crazy like we accept. I knew it's gonna be finished, but I wanted to wait, so don't say that. I went for it. I like we accepted, you know. So Arman is the best, so he's the number one. He's the champion. He's the athlete. I believe this guy is one of the best of the fighters in the world. He has to fight for them.
Okay, so here's the thing, guys. This is actually a gift from the gods for the UFC. Like, this has all worked out so perfectly for them because, look, Ilya hasn't fought since June. He should be ready to go. Paddy very clearly is ready to go. He hasn't fought since April, his win over Michael Chandler. The best way, we continue to say, of the people available, the best way to debut the Paramount Plus era in 2026, first show of 2026, rumored to be at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, January 24th. I'm calling it a PLE numbered event. You know, they're going to keep those, title fights on the number of events we suspect. The best way to start this is Ilya versus Paddy. You just had Arman win, look good. He's now the number one guy. He's waiting in the wings. You bring him out there, and yet you keep this train rolling along. I'm sorry, there is zero momentum towards a Justin Gaethje title fight against Ilia Topuria. And now that Arman did what he did, I think he completely knocked Justin out of the way. There is zero interest, zero momentum. I would sign up for Arman versus Ilya right now. But I think you have Paddy there. You want to strike while the iron is hot. He's ready to go. He hasn't fought since April. It's going to be almost a year since his last fight by the time this January date comes along. Do Ilya versus Paddy. You saw the little run-in. You see the animosity there. Do that in January. Have Arman in the front row. He fights the winner. And now the lightweight division is back rolling like it was when Islam was.
You didn't take a lot of damage tonight. Is there a chance if they said to you, hey, you can fight for the belt, but it has to be in January, could you turn around that fast?
Of course. I can rest 1 week, fly to US and stay there 2 months. It's enough time to get ready. And I didn't get any injured, thank God. And they have to say that. And hopefully on Tuesday they announced that fight, and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance, and I have pretty time to get ready.
Are you a little bit disappointed that this week Ilya didn't seem to want to have anything to do with you?
I mean, I didn't want to mention too much Ilya because I was focused on my fight. But after today, I'm gonna try to again create some crazy videos that are gonna be viral and try to make a joke, you know, and to bring a lot of eyes for that fight, because it's like a media sport too, you know. You gotta be a good fighter and a good showman. Hopefully on Tuesday they announced that fight, and me fighting main event with Topuria when it's gonna be in Vegas or in Los Angeles. So I'm ready. I gotta take that chance, and I have pretty time to get ready. In my mind goes like I can strike with him on the long distance, but whenever he wants to try like to box me and throw his hard punch, at that moment I'm gonna shoot and take him down. So, and I believe myself, and I know I can beat him so easy as well.
Kamaru Usman shared his thoughts on the fight between Arman Tsarukyan and Dan Hooker, especially in connection to Ilia Topuria's position in the division. According to Usman, if Arman managed to secure a dominant and quick win, it would make Ilia's case for future matchups even stronger. He pointed out that Arman had looked better and more confident since his loss to Islam Makhachev, and believed it wouldn't be surprising if Arman finished the fight within the first 2 rounds.
If Arman Tsarukyan goes out there and gets it done relatively quickly in impressive fashion, it helps the case of Ilya, you need to stay down. Let's defend this belt now because you are the champion here.
If he's able to rip the playbook off of what Islam was able to do, we'll say Arman Tsarukyan within 2 rounds submission.
It's a tough one, but based on how Arman Tsarukyan has looked since the loss to Islam Makhachev, it's hard to believe that this man can't go out there and get the job.
Dan Hooker also spoke about his goals heading into UFC Qatar. He was confident that a victory over Arman Tsarukyan could push him higher in the rankings and possibly earn him a fight with Ilia Topuria. Hooker explained that Ilia was currently the top contender, and while many fighters were hesitant to step up against him, Hooker wanted that challenge. He added that some competitors used injuries as an excuse to avoid Topuria, but he believed beating Arman would give him the boost needed to jump from outside the top 5 into title contention, an opportunity he didn't want to miss.
#1 contender that needs a win in the division, and that's why I chased this fight and I asked for this fight, and I nagged the UFC to give me this fight, is because I knew no one between myself and Arman Tsarukyan would want to fight Arman Tsarukyan, because they got a good excuse to avoid him. You know, he did pull out of that fight with the bad back, and so the champion and guys, the bigger name guys in the division like Gaethje, they have a good excuse to not fight him. I believe it's because he is the most skillful fighter in the division, but these other guys have a good reason to not fight him, and I knew that with a win over Arman Tsarukyan, I get to jump the queue. I get to jump from outside the top 5 to the #1 contender in the division.
MMA Guru also weighed in on the Arman versus Dan Hooker fight. Even though Hooker is one of his personal favorites, he leaned toward Arman as the likely winner. He mentioned that many people were underestimating Hooker, especially since the fight with Mateusz Gamrot was extremely close and could have gone either way. Guru added that if Gamrot had a bigger name, the judges might have scored it differently. Still, he gave Hooker credit for his improved takedown defense and his ability to get back to his feet quickly, areas where he's shown clear growth compared to past performances.
Hooker's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC, but I'm going to go with Arman Tsarukyan here over Dan Hooker. I do think Dan Hooker's being underrated here because even though people say, the Gamrot fight was a robbery, it was a close fight that could have gone either way, really. Do I think Gamrot could have won? And if Gamrot had Ov at the end of his name, he probably would have won based on the control time that he had. Let's just call it what it is. But Dan Hooker's really good at, like, stuffing he's a lot better at it than he was before when it comes to scrambling up from takedowns, but also with Gamrot.
Continuing his analysis, MMA Guru emphasized that Arman becomes especially dangerous once he gains control on the ground and capitalizes on it. He pointed out that Hooker was returning after dealing with a serious arm injury, but still had physical advantages like reach and power that could change the fight with a single clean shot. However, Guru believed Arman's striking was good enough to keep him out of danger and set up his takedowns effectively. He predicted Arman would eventually take over the fight with his ground game and possibly finish it in the second or third round.
I think he's better at, like, implementing dominant positions on top, and Gamrot had them a lot on Dan Hooker in their fight, and Hooker just broke his arm again twice, right? 2 broken arms back to back. Coming back into this one, if he wins, you can think about a title shot maybe if he makes the right call out, and he's a big name and he's big and he's tall and he's got reach, and maybe he sets up the knee on Arman, and Arman has had some stinkers. Arman had the Joaquim Silva performance where it wasn't the best. He got wobbled. But I think he's going to be able to take down Dan Hooker. And I don't think he's as lost on the feet as we suggest. And I think he's actually going to finish him in round 2 or 3 from the mount with ground and pound. That's where I think Arman's better than Gamrot at with the grappling, is taking a dominant position and actually doing something with it. And even on Oliveira,
Arman Tsarukyan himself admitted that the fight against Dan Hooker was risky. He explained that while Hooker had nothing to lose, he was fighting to protect his top contender position. A loss could push him several steps back. That's why Arman said he entered this fight with extra motivation and determination to get the win and solidify his standing in the division.
This is like a kind of risky fight for me because I have something to lose, but for Hooker, nothing to lose. If he loses to me, he said, yeah, okay, I'll lose to #1 contender. But for me, it's 3 steps back. That's why I'm very motivated and ready to beat him.
That's all for today's video. UFC Qatar gave us an incredible night of fights and unforgettable moments. Let us know what you thought about the Arman Tsarukyan versus Dan Hooker showdown in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting MMA updates and reactions.